really get you to make so much noise that the people in the classroom next door think they're having such fun, we want to come in there too. Take a deep breath.
This is yoga, but not perhaps as we know it. It's energetic, interactive, fun, and can be used right across the curriculum. Advanced skills teacher Sue Bacon is no yoga expert. She's been to the odd class, but has never considered using it in the classroom.
When I was first approached about using yoga techniques in the classroom, I was a little bit sceptical, I have to be honest, because I couldn't quite see how the images of yoga or the yoga that I'd done previously could have an effect in the classroom.
Bring the arms up.
Today, however, she's attending a workshop at Bath Spa University, led by passionate yoga expert Rachel Jefferson Buchanan.
And catch the bubble. And then breathing in.
Can Rachel convince Sue of yoga's merits in the classroom?
Breathe out, you twist around to the other side.
Rachel bases her teaching on the RIE techniques, research on yoga in education.
What tends to happen with yoga, you often get a yoga teacher coming in to the school, running a yoga class, which is usually in the hall, and then they go back into the classroom and that yoga teacher goes home. What I really loved about RIE was that actually it was about empowering the teacher. So the teacher didn't have to be a yoga teacher to do these techniques. So if you were my children now, I would already be picking up on your body language and I would gauge my teaching accordingly. So I might well intersperse some little technique to help liven you all up a bit or help calm you down, and that's the whole premise of yoga in education. What we're going to do now is a bit of practical. RIE teachings are based on the Patanjali scale. Come and hold hands. This one is called My Body Can Do This. Step one is yama, learning to live together. My body can do this! Step two is niyama, dealing with negativity. Step three, asana, posture. Step four, pranayama, breathing. Step five is pratyahara, relaxation. All of these lead towards dharana, concentration.
My body can do this. I found my body can do this. I found that being in a lecture hall with lots of people I didn't know made me feel quite self-conscious. But what intrigues me about using yoga in education is how you would incorporate those techniques into the everyday primary classroom.
Going behind you.
So, Sue invites Rachel to put theory into practice at the sharp end. Her classroom.
I thought we'd start off with like a daydream activity, which is...
Sue briefs Rachel. Today's literacy lesson is on similes.
Time to let their minds wander. I haven't done it with them before, so it might be interesting to see how they react. And then after 5 minutes, they're going to just write down where they went in their brainstorm, and then we'll collect those in their groups to then share, to give us some vocabulary. And then I'm going to sort of model where my daydream took me by using similes and see if they can pick up on the use of that.
When you mentioned daydream,
yeah,
I immediately think visualization,
yeah, okay.
And some of those yama exercises that we did, and we have to sort of decide whether you want to do that or whether I want to do that.
They're quite aware that something is, you know, that they're going to be doing something a little bit different, so I think it might be quite nice if you did it and I joined in with them.
The first thing we're going to do, this is called pass the squeeze. You've got to close your eyes.
There are a range of needs within my class. Some children have special educational needs and some children are gifted and talented, and everybody who kind of comes in between.
Just focusing on what you feel.
They're quite an enthusiastic class, but often behaviour can be challenging.
While you're there in your mind, there's also a little message coming around that you can feel. It might come one direction, it might come from another. All the while you're waiting for the message, your mind is wandering.
I'm hoping that the yoga will actually allow them to develop some time within their own thinking and to be able to let their minds wander, to be able then to create what we would like to get from them at the end of the lesson. So I'm really interested to see how the yoga techniques will actually give them that time and space. Okay, can you please go sit back down in your seat?
Yama complete, it's time to share daydreams.
In 5, 4, 3, thank you Jordan, thank you Maisie and Libby. 2, 1, can you please put the lids on your pens and put them on top of your paper? Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my daydream. I was in a forest, okay? And in my forest, I had to be as brave as a lion, because it was quite scary. And whilst I was walking through the forest, I found that I was as hungry as a bear. What sort of sound does a bear make? Libby? Grunting, yeah. Growling, roaring, grunting. And now we're going to use the sounds of a bear in another activity, aren't we, Mrs. Buchanan?
Can you show me claws? Breathe in when we go up. When we breathe out, instead of just breathing out through the nose, I'd like you to make a I think that we can make a lot more noise than that. Put up your hand if you think you can make more noise than that. Okay, jolly good. Can I really get you to make so much noise that the people in the classroom next door think they're having such fun, we want to come in there too? I think your class is amazing.
Thank you.
For starters, really amazing. There's so much to offer. And I think there's massive potential in terms of all the ride technique.
I think they particularly liked the bear one, but I thought that was really good because I think a lot of them were letting quite a lot of sort of emotion out, which was really nice to see.
And that one particularly, of course, is from the Patanjali scale Niyama, which is, you know, spring clean, getting rid of toxins.
And a real giggle as well.
Yes.
Like, Cheyenne had a real giggle about it all. She couldn't explain why she was laughing, and then she just sort of, oh yeah, I feel quite serene now, which was really nice.
Next lesson is DT, and Rachel suggests using a posture technique as a way of gaining class attention.
Okay guys, can you come in and sit in your home teams, please?
Are we finishing orange?
Right, we're going to talk about that today, so you need to come and listen. The first thing we're going to do today, okay, I'm going to introduce something else to you that Mrs. Buchanan taught me last Friday. I'd like you to listen to this sound. When you hear that sound, I'd like you to sit in your chair, facing the way you should be in your chair. I'd like you to have both your feet on the floor. Your back's nice and straight against the back of your chair. Your hands just resting in front of you. So every time you hear this sound during this lesson, that is what you're going to do. You're just going to check that you're sat in the correct position. Connor, can you show me you know what the correct position is, please?
First up, though, Sue decides on a spot of Yama to get them working together.
Now, before we do this, what I would like you to do is I would like you to push your chairs in and get in a circle, please, like we were before. Thank you. We've been thinking about different sounds that different things have been making. We've been looking at different instruments, about how they create their different sounds. First of all, we're going to have a think about what sounds our body can make, okay? So Mrs. Buchanan, do you think you would like to start this one off?
That sounds like a shaker.
My go. Good. Who else thinks they can think of a noise they'd like to share with everyone? Abby. Chloe. Lovely. Okay. Can you please go sit in your seat? Libby, well done. Thank you. Stephen, well done. You've really got the hang of this. And Chloe. Lovely. We're just... Owen, we're waiting to see the proper posture from you in your chair, please. Lovely. Just let your hands relax. Very good. Well done. Off you go. Thank you. Lots of you are doing it. We're going to use what we know about the materials to create our own design for it. So we have a proper plan. Much better. And that shows me that you're really sat up and you're really alert and you know what your body's doing.
With the class responding well to the posture chimes, Rachel suggests concluding with a Dharana exercise, Patanjali Level 6, Concentration.
Wherever they live. So now we're going to play a little game, which is called the Game of Silence. Relax completely, sitting up in your chairs, covering your eyes.
I think if you asked the class today, they wouldn't be able to tell you that they've done yoga.
Listen to the sounds coming from the street or the corridor outside the room.
I think if they were asked themselves about yoga, they would associate it more with PE. I think if you actually said to them today that they've done yoga techniques, I think they would be quite surprised.
This teacher came in and she taught us a little bit how to calm us. I liked it when we closed our eyes and we squeezed our hands together, and it was actually a teamwork game. It made me really calm and I didn't feel like, oh, this is annoying. She told us as well that to breathe and listen to our breath from our nostrils, and that's what made me calm.
We played quite a few different games this morning. Who thinks that they can tell me something about one of those games that they enjoyed?
I like Pass the Speech because I like daydreaming. I like the silent game because it taught me something, how to be quiet, because I'm always a chatterbox. So you had to listen and it's like quiet, not like how loud we are like every day.
Really interesting to know what you thought of some of these activities that we've done this morning. Can you please stack your chairs? I think the strength of what came through today was that power of stillness, of giving children the opportunity to either be inside their heads or having to stop for a minute and just think and focus on what they're doing, and I think that that has real power within the primary classroom. Okay, it is